Hello, welcome back to What Up Eugene, the show where Dan does not open my beer for me, even though he opens everyone else in the room's beer. So that's a lot of bullshit that I'm dealing with in my life right now.
And I just wanted it to be the freshest beer you ever could have had.
It was seasonal allergies at that point in the year, and now it's Dan won't open my beer. Of course, I am your co-host, Lars. I am joined, as always, by Dan. And today, we've got a little bit of a double guest situation.
Brett Stanley is in the house. Brett Stanley is in the house.
Is that how you imagine me? Is that what plays in your head when you think of me?
You look like Russian. That was not a good Russian accent.
No.
You look like the Russian. I say you put a tracksuit on this guy. That's all you need.
Oh, just like our neighbors across the street. And when I say our, I don't mean you, because you moved.
I did move.
All right, well, so here's the deal. So we've got Brett. Now, longtime listeners, and by longtime listeners, I guess I'm really only referring to Cassidy, so it's kind of meta here. Will remember we recently had a guest called Cassidy. This is her boyfriend, and it's a package deal, Dan told me. So we've actually, Cassidy's on the floor for her own mic.
Doesn't have to be.
That's
You
not
know,
true.
guitar mic.
I just didn't have anything to do
we're
tonight.
It's kind of nice having her here, you know?
So, like I said, she's got her own little SM57, if you will. If you want to just, when you hold that and talk, just hold it like it's a cock. Yeah, you just want to look right into it.
So put it in your mouth.
I pretty close.
That's what I did my first day here.
It's all about pointing it at your mouth. You know, that's the name of the game. What are we doing today, Dan? Besides not editing the last episode because I'm really lazy.
It's okay. You know what? We got a 2 for next week.
We got 2 for. Oh, is that? Yeah, we could do that. I thought maybe we'd just like have one recorded ahead of time, but we could also just release 2, like a back to back.
That makes more sense.
Let's do it. However you want to do it. I don't care.
How was your guys' Halloween?
Fine.
Fine? What'd you do?
I feel like you're leading. These are leading questions.
They're very leading questions.
Well, I'll tell you what I did.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Were some people in this room not in attendance to your Halloween party?
We had a Halloween party. All parties present were invited. 2 out of the 3 came.
Oh.
Lars, you didn't come to the party.
I did not come to the party. As a matter of fact, I had no ride home. Well, I had a ride home. It was, 2 different Daniels invited me to 2 Halloween parties. It was a real 2 dates to the prom, except for a 2 different prom situation.
And 2 different Daniels.
Yeah, and 2 different, yeah, exactly. And the first one, which is you, I went to set up the mics and stuff so you'd have a karaoke situation at your party. And my neighbor, who used to be your neighbor, who has been on our show twice, so I could just refer to him as his name, Brent Bradley.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about someone else.
Forgot who he was for a second. Don't tell him. He offered me a ride there, and then I was like, well, I work at 9 the next day, which is not great hours for partying. And he's like, oh, well, I could probably give you a ride home early. And we were talking about it before your party, which, by the way, started at like 9, which is way too late for people who have jobs.
We drove by a church, and it said it went from 5 to 9.
Oh, my God, those are party hours.
And that's the hour that you want.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how I feel about partying. I don't mind staying out till 11 or midnight, but I don't want to be like getting there at 11 or midnight. You know what I mean? Like I want to be sobering up because I have to go to bed at midnight to get 8 hours. So I want to start drinking. I want to go hard at 4 o'clock. I want to be drunk by 9 so I can sober up. You know what I mean? And like I don't want to like pregame your party so hard that I'm the only drunk person at 9 o'clock.
You wouldn't have been the only drunk person.
Not even close. Not by a long shot.
But your driveway situation's so messed up that Brent told me he would probably get parked in and would not be leaving until late. So I was like, I shouldn't go. And then my ride to the other prom was like, well, I'm actually going to take a taxi home. And I could have taken a taxi from my other party. I just drank by myself instead, and it was an awesome time.
So that was Lars's Halloween?
No one was invited.
Well, our Halloween was great. I was Trumpty Dumpty. I made it so my head was my entire body of a character that looked like Trump as Humpty Dumpty sitting on a wall. Brett was a doctor of sorts.
I wasn't of sorts.
Who?
I was just a doctor. I put on a lab coat. That's what I did.
Which doctor?
I bought a cheap lab coat from Halloween Town.
Which you probably took off 15 minutes into the party.
Your house is always so damn hot.
It was hot. No, and I kept telling Ariel, who has been on the podcast, It's gonna get hot. She disagreed, but then everyone was sweating. I sweat my Trump make-off right off.
Well, she's from California. She's used to that heat.
Yeah, that's true. And then Cass was a nurse.
Yeah.
A scary, scary nurse.
Oh, scary nurse. That's an
Not-
interesting take.
Not really. I mean, the mask is scary, but if I didn't wear it for most of the time because it gets condensation in it really quickly from breathing in it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had to take it off a lot. And like every picture of me is just like with a lab coat and a wig on, and it just looks super last minute, like half-assed.
You had blood on your stockings, though.
I had bloody tights that I found, but I don't know.
We were pretty lazy this year.
Yeah,
We've made our costumes.
I have a lot of time.
You made those costumes?
No, not
No,
this year, but
in years past, we
Oh.
made them.
Yeah,
We made last year's costumes, which were fairly elaborate.
The werewolf pope, right?
Yeah, mix and match on the whole
It was
costume.
like a werewolf pope and a...
sexy rabbi.
was- Yeah, what were we the year before, though?
I was Wednesday. I don't know what you were, because we went up to Portland and helped Kirsten with her. We have a friend who has like a haunted yard thing in Portland in their like community, and so we like scared the shit out of little kids.
I was
It
that
was really
monkey
fun.
thing. I was a monkey.
Oh yeah, you bought a gorilla mask. That's right.
That's right, and I
Yeah.
had a cloak. Well, I can't remember what it was though. It was
Yeah,
like
just like I don't know. I remember you had a monkey mask though.
yeah, and a cloak and a something.
Well, I have not seen pictures of any of these costumes, but I did see a picture of Dan's Trumpty Dumpty, and can I say you nailed that orange? I mean, and you had the face, you had the lips right. You know, it's all about, when you're doing orange face, it's about getting the funny lips, and you
Yeah,
got the funny
Right,
lips.
you did a really good job on that.
I didn't color my lips. That's just my natural lip color.
I know it. It looked real Trumpy.
It did, yeah. And the first party I went to, because I went to a party before the Saturday night party, our party,
Regamed it. Sure.
and the way the paint dried, it made it more red than orange. So I knew what to do for the second night. I fixed it.
Well, Dan, speaking of things, do you think maybe we should get to the segment that everyone's been waiting for and the only fun segment on the show?
I don't mind.
Let's go there.
The peer-reviewed beer review.
So today on the bench, and actually I should have been drinking it, but I have not gotten to that yet, we have Rambling Route cider. Yakima? That's... Am I supposed to read Rambling Route Yakima cider? That's poor... Would you say that's poor graphic design, Dan? That's
I think it's
confusing.
fine. I don't know what's going on.
How do you want me to read that?
Rambling Road, Yakima cider, hard pear cider.
You're telling me that's perfect graphic design.
No, well, you know, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound as
Well,
It's confusing, right?
Yakima is the smallest, so I would say you would read that last.
Well, that's confusing because it doesn't come last. It comes in the middle.
Anyway,
So this is a hard pear cider. We're rocking 6.9% alcohol at 16 ounces. And let's just see how that bad boy tastes.
well, I'll tell you how it tastes because I've already come up with my rating.
Boy, it smells like cat piss. A lot of drinks we do smell like cat piss. I'll say that.
I'll say this: 3.5 out of 5 Lars.
So, as our mini fans know, Daniel uses a system of 0 to 5 Lars, which is a graphic of my face, at peerreviewedbeerreview.tumblr.com. That's where you can see those. Now,
We
I
have
use
5
a system.
followers. 5 followers.
Wow, good for us.
Let's see if we can bump that up to 7
We can't.
by the end of the week.
I use a system of 0 to 300 stars. And we allow all of our guests to come on and come up with their own system, kind of a blank out of blank, if you will. Dan will do the graphic design. And then they also get to rate the beer. So, Brett, how do you feel about this? You don't have to give us your rating right now. Walk us through your emotional state.
You said Dan's gonna give the do the graphic design.
He does
for
the
my
graphic
rating?
design for it, yeah. You
All
can
right,
really
what's the
fuck him
most
up.
difficult thing for him to design?
Well, 300 stars is kind of a pain in the ass, I've been told.
Yeah.
For 11 episodes.
You know what? I'm going to bump this up. It's been too long. 4 out of 5 Lars.
Wow. That's a high rating for something I'm not loving. I'll say it. I spilled it on my hand.
I gave it a
which is-
half a star bump because of the design. I like it.
Wow. I'm definitely taking at least a star off for the design.
It has kind of a funny aftertaste.
Right? And kind of a funny
Like
piss
almost-
smell.
Yeah, so, or something metallic maybe.
Yeah. It's not the best pear cider we've had on the show, and I don't remember what I gave that one. It's probably like 170 stars or something. I don't know. I've been kind of rude to drinks recently, but I think the most I can give this is 75 stars. Because this was, I'll tell you what, if this was $1.99 for 16 ounces, fine. But this was like almost, it was $2.50, I think. So It was not a cheap drink, and it tastes like a cheap drink. That's where I'm landing. I'm landing. What did I say? 75 stars.
75 stars. I'm typing it out.
We gotta have it ready.
Brett, have you deliberated?
I'm thinking about it.
Cassidy, what was your rating system? Do you remember?
It was Bavarian. Wait, marzipan
Oh yeah,
It was-
that was a weird one.
Marzipan
Marzipan
pretzels.
in a German
in
basket.
a German basket.
Did you see my actual
I did,
graphic?
yeah.
See.
It wasn't very good.
She said away from the
I
mic.
said, what was it? 1 and 3 crumbs worth, and you only had 2 crumbs.
I didn't know if I really
Oh.
thought about that. I was gonna edit another crumb in, but I didn't.
I never
Oh,
said
boy.
it to you, but I was like, wow.
Well,
you didn't listen
the-
at
the
all.
Hey, it
The
was
truth comes out on What Up Eugene.
it was great having you on that one time.
I'm the only one that looks at
never
that
again.
blog, and you betrayed me.
Hey, there are 4 other possibly robot followers.
Yeah, well,
So-
All right, Brett, let's get that rating.
The rating.
The rating. Don't even think
man.
so much about the rating as what you.
Tell us how you feel about the drink, and then kind of work backwards. Like,
Well, I kind of like sour ciders, dry sour ciders. The sweet ones I fucking hate. They're disgusting. This is kind of straddling the middle of the road. It has a funny aftertaste, but
It's-
like
yeah.
drinking it is pretty good.
it's easy to
You
drink.
can- you can-
chug it for sure.
You can taste a hint of pear, and that's good because it's a pear cider.
Let me ask you this: you think like Bosc, Bartlett? You think it's some kind of red pear, maybe?
You know what? I have no idea. I don't know pears that well.
I think
Pears are
it's-
just pears.
I think it's a Danju pear, and I think that's why it tastes bad.
This
And I'll
reminds
say
me
that.
of like drinking by a river. Is that?
How does it remind you of drinking by a river?
I think I drank a cider similar to this at by a river.
Oh, so it's a very universal experience.
How do you remember that exactly?
I was in the river. Well, as you know, taste and smell are the two biggest
They are,
senses
but-
linked to memory.
Oh,
I read that on an image somewhere.
well, let's work our way through the rest of the material, and as you think of your rating system and your rating,
Okay.
you can give it to us.
Next thing, as you guys know, the 72-hour horror film contest in Eugene happened recently, and Brett and Cass and I actually watched all of the entries, aside from the winner, which has not been posted yet, because it's going to be run through some film festivals, and I think they're going to check on the material within the video to make sure it's all copyright, cool.
So,
I
how many?
think for the winner though, that's going to be an easy win compared to what we saw.
Yeah,
Was there some garbage?
it was...
I've seen festival films before. I'm willing to throw out the old G word.
There were a lot.
it
Brett,
was.
is this the 4th or the 5th annual?
I think it's the 5th.
I think it's the 5th. Yeah.
Okay. I never saw the entries for the 1st, I believe. But this one was by far the least impressive of the 4 or 5.
Let me ask you this, and maybe this is just like an overall thing. Would you say, because it's horror films, right? So it's not. Would you say it's more in terms of originality or in production? Because obviously there's some production stuff you just can't do in 72 hours.
Right.
No, especially with some people actually being part of a production company and they have the equipment.
Would you
Yeah.
say maybe everything looked good, but the acting and writing was bad? Or are you? Cass is shaking your head. Here's what I'm getting: unoriginal, bad acting, bad writing, poor shotting, if you will. And I'm guessing, because it always comes last, I'm guessing the sound design was also not good.
Yeah. No. You hit all the high marks. On
That's
that
all
one.
5.
No, this
It
was
was
the
all
best
5.
year for sound design, I'd argue. It was no, because there's been years where there was some
you
of the
know what?
best
No.
and then some of the most spottiest. This one there was some really good, and then the rest was just okay.
That's not true.
No?
There was one where it sounded like someone had the microphone like covered in something. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Well, no, I can
And there's
almost
always-
guarantee what it was someone was using a DSLR and that port on the front, they had their finger on it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's what
They
happens
were using
every
the
single
built-in
time.
mic. You got to get a boom.
Well, that happened to us too because we had a
Yeah.
boom and I had never used one. And what did I do to it? I like the input setting or something was different.
The
and
gain
then-
might have been weird.
Yeah, there was a gain problem, and then also we didn't
Sound
tape
is-
down the the cord at first too, so it was like
Oh, it was,
getting
like, loose.
noise.
Yeah.
And that's something
Yeah, that's
that
how this top outlet is here, which is why the computer is plugged into the bottom outlet.
Yeah, so you know what you're doing. You got tape.
Yeah.
when I think about that stuff, like the audio stuff, we all had that mic. We got that boom specifically for that event, and it was our first time using it. And when I think about that, I think about the videos that I am like, wow, that audio is screwed up, and I'm wondering like. They might have been in a similar situation the first time they used it, or they're.
Well, sure. I mean, and especially if they've never filmed outside before, or like tried to capture audio outside.
Well, I mean, I think it's like it's fair to like give people some leeway on that because sound.
72 hours.
Things, it's really hard to do well, and it's really easy to fuck up.
Yeah. Well, and
Sure.
I'll say this because it's a complaint I've made on the show before, but like, how long has the porn industry been around? Because they still can't figure out sound, and most of those shots are indoors, and it's fucking atrocious, and it gets me so angry.
If you think about what they pay though for like
Right.
an actor and actress and a piece of equipment
That's
to
what I'm
record
saying.
it with, they don't give a shit about sound
Like,
because
just
they
rent a
know that they're
boom.
gonna make million or thousands at least
Yeah.
on like a 30-minute clip.
This
They
is
don't
wh-
give a shit. They
this
don't
is-
have to.
This is why I don't pay for porn. I mean, there's a million reasons I don't, but I certainly wouldn't pay for porn of poor audio quality.
If we ever have Kevin on,
That's okay.
Actually,
That's the justification.
Kevin's the
You
man
know
to
what, sound
talk to
design.
about that.
You know what? I can't hear that cock sliding in.
Dude, I can't get off
Don't
to that.
fucking want it. It's not 5.1.
It's like, what'd she
Nope.
say? I don't know.
I want to hear it like a vacuum. Now listen, sound design. Okay, so as we're talking about this, we're hard critics because we weren't in it this year, and in the past we have, and we're really criticizing it. But the truth is, 72 hours. It's tough to do that shit. Our
Yeah, that's no fucking joke.
no.
It really isn't. Like anybody who submits really truly deserves
Yeah.
credit for doing it because it's grueling. I mean, it's really hard to come up with
They signed up. They paid
everything you got to do.
whatever $15, $25 to not sleep for 3 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish I could have gone this year. Like Brett and Cass were out of town. I was busy with a client, and I could have made the time, but I didn't feel like staying up 72 hours.
Yeah,
It's a hard thing
next
to do.
year.
Yeah.
Next year. Yeah. Well, overall,
Well, okay, so
This is the thing, and I brought this up last night too. One of the things I know some of the cameras and equipment they're using are capable of slow motion, high speed, frame
sure,
rates.
yeah.
No one has yet submitted a film to the EFS 72-hour short horror film contest that uses slow motion, and it drives me nuts because it's like you can really
be dramatic.
You can be really dramatic with slow motion, and you can make things look really good, and no one uses it. It's a setting I think that people just gloss over on the camera. If I had like a Sony A7 S2 or R2 or S2 or now they have the 3s coming out, 120 frames a second, 240 frames a second at 1080p and 4K. Oh my god.
I feel that I should backtrack. And for those who don't know about the 72-hour horror film contest, there are 3 rules in the
Okay.
contest. 1, it has to be 3 minutes or less. 2, you are given a prop that you have to use in the movie, and it has to be in there for a specified amount of time. I think it's 3 to 5 seconds.
Sure.
And this year, that specified prop was a pair of glasses,
Oh, okay.
like eye-sync glasses. And then the third rule is you have to have a line of dialogue and use it. In the past, they've been very
Strict.
Strict's the word, about using the line exactly. And this year, I think it was lesson 1: never go alone.
Never go anywhere alone.
That never go anywhere alone.
Yeah.
And they usually take.
What movie is that? It's always from another horror movie
Yeah.
too.
Oh, okay. All right.
I feel like it
Because
must be
the
a
year
recent
we
one.
did it was from Paranorman,
Yeah.
and I think last year it was The Frighteners.
One year we did it, and they took a line from The Shining, and it was,
Yeah.
"I should know, sir. I've always been here."
That was a hard one.
That's a weird one to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
especially if you have to
first
do it
year, I can't
perfectly.
remember what the line of dialogue was, but the prop was a fucking mattress.
Oh my god.
Which most people don't have access to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, no, like some people were fumbling around with like
Just buy a
queen size
dumpster.
mattresses. It was really
Glasses
hilarious.
are. It's
Yeah.
an easy prop. I feel
Yeah.
glasses because it doesn't have to be relevant to the plot.
Right.
Although certain people get awards for best use of prop, best use of sound editing, best use of best original acting or story.
So let me ask you guys this, because we've talked a lot about what goes into it and what comes out of it, but we haven't talked about this year. And I don't know how much time we have. Let's say, what was the absolute worst movie you saw this year? Just like a brief summary. Like, let's throw these people under the bus. Let's fucking destroy them.
Oh man, here's the hard part: remembering the names of any of the shorts.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember the name. Just like describe what happened. Like, why was it so bad?
What's worse than a horrible one is one that could have been good, but it was just
Yeah,
boring.
what I
The
was
story
gonna
has
say.
been done. I'd say that when it's a story that's the least unoriginal, that's the worst because you're just like, oh, that's it. There was one I think I'd put in my bottom would be this one about this girl who gets tied up in a garage and tortured and like presumably she's going to be killed, and she just doesn't make it out. And that's a story that didn't go anywhere. I think it was pretty well shot, but I didn't like the story at all. So I didn't.
The other one that disappointed me too, and I think Ariel agreed, we were both really disappointed by, and this would be in my bottom or top, I don't know what you would call it. The one where it was the guy going in the crawl space.
It was called Crawl Space.
It was called Crawl Space. I really loved that one up until like halfway, because it was really promising, and then it just kind of fizzled out. And
Yeah, no, it did the found footage kind of thing.
was
and
doing
it had a really good setup, and then
yeah,
it just
and the
yeah,
acting
it
was
just-
good. Like
Yeah, halfway into it, I forgot I was watching like
yeah,
a locally
that's
made.
how
I felt
too.
like I was watching something on Netflix, and then the ending, it went a really goofy direction that I
Yeah.
didn't care for.
And that makes me think that maybe
The ending, it went a really goofy direction that I
Yeah.
didn't care for.
And that makes me think that maybe they ran out of time, or they couldn't get someone, or maybe the dude that was the main character couldn't come back or something. Like
It could have been a Jaws
that's what
situation.
I think about, because when we did ours, like there was, luckily we had people that could act and stuff, but I could see, you know, someone has to work or doesn't have the time,
Yeah.
or you forgot to press record or something like that. Like there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
Exactly.
So I can imagine maybe some of the ones that we saw were like, what the hell happened here?
It was a talking, dancing, green screen chin.
Yeah.
That's.
What if the chin's turned
honestly,
upside
like,
down?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the. No, that was intentional, and that it had to have been intentional.
Yeah.
They just the execution was just really poor.
Yeah, well, the
I
execution of the chin. I feel like the execution... Like, once I saw the monster, I thought I was
Well,
really
the
expecting
idea is
something.
shitty, and the execution was fucking poor. There's no two ways around it, man.
Yeah.
Like it had a great setup, and then it just
Had a
sucked.
great setup. I'd say my favorite one, and I think a lot of people can agree, for the past couple years, a group of filmmakers they call themselves the Submen,
Oh, yeah,
Subman, and they've done a series, the third in the series this year, called Cabinwood. And every year it's been a group of guys who go to a cabin and they talk about making a film for the contest, which is kind of meta, but they make it really fun. And this year they outdid themselves, I have to say, in terms of not only the story just going a different place, but the editing and the camera quality. I don't know what happened. It got great.
And the practical effects too.
Yeah.
No, they did.
I really
they did a
liked
really
that
good
one a
job.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem this year was storylines that could be understood. I think people went too abstract for a 3-minute period, and a lot of times they were going for something, and it was just like,
That's what
I
was
have a theory about this actually.
okay,
I think for a few years there were a lot of like film students from U of O and Lane, LCC, that were involved and wanted to participate in it. They've since graduated and left town, and I think what's left are people out and about in society that have never taken a class on film, storytelling, writing, and so we can make a horror movie in 3 minutes, and they cobble it together and don't really know what they're doing.
they realized the grand vision can't be fit in that
Yeah.
small amount of time.
Well, that makes sense, and it's kind of one of those interesting things because it makes sense for a thing that people who are either film students or professionals in the field should do, but it seems like you can't limit it to that because that's just kind of weird, right?
yeah.
It's like, maybe like don't do a 72-hour contest if you don't know what you're doing. I did with one time with a friend a 24-hour like comic making contest, and I don't draw at all, so it was like kind of I was just there for storyboarding, and I will tell you, we finished, and our comic was terrible. I mean, it looked good, it was just terrible. So, yeah, don't recommend.
It's actually funny because you mentioned that because a while ago people did a crowdsourced project of. Are you guys familiar with the manga / anime Akira?
Yeah.
So it's like one of the.
Who isn't, Dan?
It's. I don't know who listens to this podcast.
I do.
I know
and I'm
Cass
familiar
does.
with it.
So anyway, some guy decided, hey, everyone who wants to get on this project called Bart Kira, in which they replace all of the characters in Akira with Simpsons characters. And if you signed up for this, you would be assigned a couple pages to create the art for. And I had a friend who did a couple pages for it. And you just have to continue the storyline based on other artists like recreating the exact shots in the manga of Akira, but with like Bart Simpson, Marge, Homer.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
It's been printed. You can find it at comic book shops.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, with that, I think it's time for us to go to the break. And there's not break music yet, but maybe there will be in post. Who knows? Probably not. All right, I'm sure you just heard some fantastic.
Wait, I'm not getting the echo on my thingy.
I don't hear me either.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Take 2?
Oh, there we are.
Hello.
My
Hey, we're
headphones were
back.
turned on. All right, I'm sure you guys just heard some fantastic break music and or break music that's been on other episodes before, depending on how lazy I am. Trick question, I'm very lazy. Let's
Get
Brett,
Brett's review.
we want your official beer review because at this point we're past the break.
All right, of the Rambling Route Yakima cider.
That is apparently the name.
The Yakima Rambling Route cider.
Yakima
Yakima cider Rambling Route.
Rambling
That is the name.
Route Cider Yakima. That's hard to say.
It's honestly not terrible. Although it does kind of taste like a sour Martinelli's
It does.
with booze in it.
Well, I will
Which
tell
is,
you guys
you know,
this.
it gets a couple more points for having booze in it because Martinelli's sucks fucking ass. It's terrible.
Really?
Oh
dare
fuck, it's
you.
awful. I get a stomachache like small amount and like
That's
It's-
what I
it's
used to drink
awful.
every Thanksgiving. as a child.
That's a Thanksgiving drink.
Yeah.
Are you trying to
To
shit
feel
on Thanksgiving?
Like an adult.
yeah, actually I am.
Yeah,
Our
'cause you can drink
ancestors-
real apple cider now. Like,
Did
that's
you
what we're
know
doing.
he's part Indian or Native American?
Oh, I mean, he's a blue-eyed devil.
Yeah, you know
From
what?
what I can see.
Fuck Thanksgiving.
Whoa!
You heard it
here
here.
first.
He said
You're
it.
here first. Actually, I said it first.
I'll kill yourself.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
You mean Genocide Day?
so what's your review? What's your rating?
What's my rating? It's not bad. I actually kind of like it. I think it's too sweet for me because I like a dry, sour cider. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it. Let me think. I'm gonna give it 1 Robert Mueller out of 6.5 Trumps.
That's good. That's a good score. Now,
do
I'm
that.
here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm just gonna put this on the record. Scores are locked in. No score changing.
That's fine. That 1 Robert Mueller though is worth more than the 7.5 Trumps.
Oh,
So,
sure. No, it's
Wait,
a
you said
locked in
6.5.
score.
6.5.
Well, it's worth more than 7.5. So it's like, you know, when you get something 11 out of 10.
Why 6.5 though?
Why not?
I just pulled it out of my ass.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
For those wondering, I have complained about a local grocery store, Capella's, several times for this, and I'll just say it again because I was like walking out the store and I was like, oh, I should check to see if this is expired because they always sell me expired alcohol. It's September 30th.
How does
so,
alcohol expire exactly?
I don't know. They print dates on it, and it's like sometimes, like, you know, like when you drink wine and it
I
tastes
really
moldy.
feel like that's more of a liability issue, less of a like it's actually expired.
Well, I mean, yeah, because usually alcohol has like a year and a half on it, so usually
not a
like,
dairy
I don't think,
product,
I don't think another
you know?
month matters, but I do think it tastes like you could taste something and you're like, oh, that metallic taste might be because this expired a month and a day ago. Capella's, like, just check your dates every once in a while. It's only a little.
As
illegal.
being the guy who often promotes other podcasts, I'd like to say 99% Invisible did an episode on expiration dates and Best Buy dates for foods, and a lot of it's a bunch of malarkey.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, because it's just like you have to take it off the shelf eventually. So if you don't put a date, they'll never take it off.
Oh, but it's also an advertising thing. So like Pepsi and Coke, they put expiration dates on their soda, and it was basically to make their product seem fresher.
Oh, huh. That makes sense. Well, speaking of expiration dates, this show is probably going to be canceled any week now. But before it does, let's go to this segment right here.
Last week, we asked you, the listener, to send us your fan mail. And you did. Thank you. Here it is, presented alive, on air, in the Moments Ago studio. Recorded alive 3 days ago, and uploaded today. Your fan mail. Here it is. Enjoy. Thank you. Here it is.
You know, Dan, I'm gonna say this, and I never noticed the first time we did that segment.
All right.
You just assume that I'm uploading 3 days after we record. In the instance, okay, for today, right? We recorded an episode last Wednesday that is not uploaded yet. You know, you get dickwalled that you just said, oh, we're gonna upload it in 3 days. That episode has not been uploaded.
It's been almost a week or more.
By the time it airs, people have been like, oh, I forgot I wrote in.
Well, I'm going to get into it right now. On Instagram, as far as direct messages go, we got one from a user called casually_even_better.
Oh, yeah.
And his question, or her, we don't know. Although I know who this is.
You do know. Yeah, I also know who that is.
Here's a question for the show.
Way more popular on Instagram than we are. They always get like 200 likes. Just a better person, really.
His question reads, here's a question for the show. Why is your hand on your crotch?
Oh, so this was the... This is great. What's fun with Dan also running this Instagram account is there's a lot of like, I'll reply, and then he'll reply as Dan, and it's kind of bickering, and the other person doesn't really get involved. So we took a lot of shots of me. Well, Dan took a lot of shots of me for what ended up being the What Up Eugene kind of... What, I want to say logo. That's not right. Like the picture that we use.
For now.
The graphic. And there's shots that Dan did not delete, and some of them exposed me, and and I was told that there would be some cropping of the hand on the crotch. There was going to be a top up shot, but it turns out that was not, and that shot was used on Instagram.
We used it to get those likes.
Number
2 on the Instagram, we got it from Olivia of Neptune, which is one word, all lowercase. We're just gonna ignore that one because that's a request to be on the show.
That's just someone. They did comment and they asked what.
You're gonna ignore it. You finally get someone to reach out to you.
It's like an actual conversation.
100%, Dan. Have that person on this show.
They're coming next week. They're
coming next week. Okay, we have one from someone named. It's hard to read the name. It's spelled Arieul, which I think spelled. It sounds like Ariel, possibly.
No, that's not right. Ari, Lay?
And it's not even fan
sounds
mail.
Iranian.
It's not even fan mail
Middle
so
Eastern.
much.
Very, very Middle Eastern.
Definitely, for sure.
So this user just sent us a picture of a screenshot of a BuzzFeed article that says, crazy how women have the stereotype of being chatty when 90% of dudes have 45-minute podcasts that no one listens to.
And that hurt when I read it. And then I was, throughout the rest of the week, I kept hearing like random comedians mention their podcast on Netflix. Like, fuck, who was it?
Damn it, she's right.
I was like, oh my God, there's so many podcasts that no one's
she's wrong though, because ours usually runs a little over an hour.
That's true. Hour 6, hour 7 sometimes. And
yeah,
we get easily 10 listens.
Yeah,
I mean, Cassidy's listened to 10 episodes. You know what I'm saying?
So I think what you're really saying is you're just pissing into the wind here. That's.
I think it's fair to say that a woman was wrong for once.
Yes, and I'll say this.
We're a little more
the many people
for once, Dan.
Of the many people who listen to our podcast and write in and tell us how they feel about it, most of them are women. I actually have a friend who is, I would say...
A woman?
Yes, and has requested a return of a segment that I did recently that was really stupid, and we're bringing it back. Not this episode.
We're not doing the sports news.
We are. They explicitly asked. They said, please bring that back. That was fucking hilarious.
Few things hurt my ears, but the sports news theme specifically...
Yeah, I'm gonna remix the theme. That was a really badly mixed theme, but we're bringing it back.
Well,
sports news.
The rest of our Instagram direct messages were mostly memes that I don't know how to respond to.
Oh, those are just my friend. That's my only Instagram, Dan. Those are just my friends messaging
okay.
me. Yeah, just ignore that. This is the problem with two people running an Instagram. Okay, we also got an email. Our first ever official What Up Eugene momentogostudios@gmail.com email. This is so exciting. It's from a real person. Their name. I'm going to start with their name, even though they did not put it at the beginning of the email. Lenny LaPenny. So, Clown's emailing us.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Oh, I'm trying to make eye contact with the guest. It's
You're
the
the
polite
guest.
thing to do.
We're talking over you, so we at least want to make eye contact with you.
Yeah, that's what we did to Jordan. We looked at him a lot, and we did not let him talk at all.
Jordan?
When he was on.
What's his last name?
Minnick.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll just air his dirty laundry right
never
there.
mind.
Really, you guys want to trash him on social media?
I know a Jordan, though.
Really quick, Brett. Have you listened to an episode? Have you listened to an episode of What Up Eugene?
Jordan. Huh?
Have you listened to an episode of What Up Eugene?
Only the bits and pieces Cassidy's played
All
for.
right.
Well,
Hey,
Cassidy is the only
To
guest
be fair,
who
I have
has
not
listened.
sought it out. I have not.
that's more than the average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You were the second guest who's heard any of it at all.
So
You know.
I'm rocking a C+ here.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
what I'm
feeling.
what I'm
Alright,
hearing is
okay,
an A minus. You're rocking like a 94% here.
I'm too lazy to go for like an A at all. Just,
Well, you
I
got
go
one.
for the
You have
C+.
one. It's
That's-
too late. It sucks to suck.
You know, I'm gonna have to tone it down then. I think.
Yeah. Why don't you skip the next podcast? Just don't listen. You know.
Don't
That's
listen
Dislike
what I did
us.
with the last one too.
Can you
so.
do dislikes on Instagram? Or
Read
Tumblr,
that-
Tumblr.
Read
Dislike
that
us.
fan mail. Read that fan mail for me. I want to hear what they have to say about us.
This is to whom it may concern. Congratulations! You have received the first authentic email from a real human person regarding your podcast radio program at https. Oh, we got an S in that. That's fucking cool. //soundcloud.com/moments ago. I thought it was Moments Ago Studios. Do we not have the studios in the URL?
No, it makes it difficult to find sometimes.
Oh, you took it out. I thought it was in there.
I didn't take it out.
Well, I didn't. I thought I put it in there. We could change our URL. We'll change our URL. I could have sworn there was studios in there.
There's not.
Fuck. That's so confusing. Why would I do that? I've screwed up because unfortunately this email will be all business, no parties, and I just had a party a second ago, so that's my bad. I fucked up. No parties from here on out, I promise. Disappointment had befallen my ears when I realized your show was focused on the town of Eugene, Oregon, and not Eugene Levy, my very favorite actor. Levy, who has an endless abundance of acting talent, could have been an everlasting well of material for your show, but you backed the wrong horse, of Eugene in this case, parentheses. 70 years Levy has roamed this earth.
Oh my god, he's that old?
Dude, you're telling me, right? Almost as old as Eugene, Oregon, you know what I'm saying?
We'll find out later in the trivia. Go ahead.
Oh god, I'm sorry. Did I spoil it?
No.
He even immigrated from Canada to entertain you, and this is how you repay him? By tricking his fans into listening to a show that has nothing to do with his amazing work on any of the movies in the American Pie franchise. Can you even name one movie Eugene Levy isn't in? And actually, this is where I'd like everyone in the room to name a movie Eugene Levy's not in.
Fight Club.
Titanic.
American Wedding. Oh, fuck. Fuck. He is in that, isn't he?
Oh, I'm so glad you made that joke, because I was actually going to Google movies he was in, and I didn't.
Okay, let me try again.
Yeah, do it again.
American Reunion. Oh,
Oh, fuck!
shit. That's another Eugene Levy.
Yeah, oh, shit.
I can't even.
You know, I'll tell
Wait,
you
was
what.
he in Apocalypse Now?
I never saw that.
He was an extra.
He was an extra, yeah.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what.
He played one of the Viet Cong.
I can't name a movie. I can name 0 movies with or without Eugene Levy. What was the movie? I don't know. Godfather Part 3, was that a movie? Who knows?
Lars
I
has
don't.
never seen a movie. If you look for any DVDs in his room, you will find none.
Yeah, there's definitely not the Lord of the Rings extended right behind you. That would be a weird thing to have in a bedroom.
Yeah.
It'd be so bizarre. Because I can name 10 million movies where Eugene, Oregon is not mentioned. Was the next line of that email.
Oh, wow.
If you would like me to list these movies alphabetically, I would be happy to do so, but 10 million movies is a lot of movies, so I would have to attach my 10 million movies that are not associated with Eugene, Oregon Excel spreadsheet that I have been compiling for the last 15 years. That's, I'm going to say it, that's not even passive-aggressive. That's just like a little regular. 15 years ago, way before we had a show,
Yeah.
because we're celebrating our second set of 5 years, our first decade this year. So it's 5 years before this show started. Lenny is compiling this list.
Why'd you assume Lenny's...
Assume their gender? You know, that's a really good question. 15 years ago, we didn't get in trouble for assuming genders, Dan.
All right, well, what did they say next?
Well, they talked about sending us their spreadsheet, which I should have replied and asked for. I did not. I can do that word. I can say that word. You don't look at me like I can't. This whole room's looking like I can't say that word right now. I enrolled myself in community college just to learn how to make an Excel spreadsheet for this very purpose. We're still on that spreadsheet. Soon after I learned, half of my extended family was killed in a Caribbean car. Half my family.
Let me read it.
You read it.
First off, I want to say it's interesting that someone who went to LCC immediately thought of Eugene Levy and not Eugene.
Well, it's Lane.
It doesn't have
it's-
to be LCC. It could be any community.
Yeah, it just said
college.
community
Doesn't-
college. Why are you assuming they're college? Why do I get in trouble for assuming a gender? You could just
Okay,
assume a college.
back to the email. I enrolled myself in community college just to learn how to make an Excel spreadsheet for this very purpose. Soon after I learned half of my extended family was killed in a Caribbean
It's not easy to say, right?
Carnival cruise crash, which resulted in many months of therapy and a deep hatred of water. I did not attend the trip because I had tickets to the opening of Cheaper by the Dozen 2, where I may have gotten my chance to meet Mr. Levy in flesh. So, I guess you could say Eugene Levy and my love for him saved my life, and this podcast, in my opinion, is a mockery of that love. I would also like to make clear I am only telling you this very personal information to prove how serious I am about this issue. Thank you so much for your time. I hope my words inspire a change in tone for your programming. And it's signed Lenny LaPenny, Eugene Levy enthusiast, comma, fanfic writer, comma, and fan club president.
Well, I guess I have two questions. One, how have we not asked for that spreadsheet already? We should have. And second of all,
Apologies to Levy.
Is there Eugene Levy fan fiction? We should ask. We should email Lenny and find out. Unfortunately, Lenny could not make it on the show because they do not live anywhere near Eugene, Oregon.
Well, they go to LCC.
They go to a community college, and you are just boldly... You're making two assumptions. One is that they go to LCC, and the second is that they've been going to community college for 15 years, which is probably accurate, knowing LCC.
That's weird that someone out of state would listen to this podcast, which is specifically about Eugene, as we've heard in the past.
Well, they were looking for podcasts about their favorite actor, and they found this shit
That's been barely
show.
brought up so far this episode.
Well, you know what? We're going to bring up a little bit something about Eugene here in this next segment,
There we go.
where we're going to challenge you.
To Levy News.
No,
Oh,
to Eugene Trivia.
we're not talking about Cheaper by the Dozen 3.
No. All right, Brett. Are you ready for the Eugene Trivia Prize Bucket Challenge?
Sure.
Cue that music, Lars. Question 1. We all know Oregon was founded in 1859, but was Eugene founded in 1846?
No.
True, actually, and it was incorporated in 1862.
Yeah.
You got that one wrong.
That wasn't a question.
Next question.
It's kind of a yes or no.
1863, wasn't it?
Brett Stanley. Before it was known as Eugene, our fair city was known as Eugene City, and before that it was simply known as Spencer's Mudhole. True or false?
False.
False. It was actually known as Skinner's Mudhole. He didn't fall for my trick question.
No, that's 1 point.
You know what the key here is, Dan? To look at your eyes.
I got you. I got you covered, bro.
Next question. Nope. Well, you got the first one wrong, so I
He's
feel
got to
that-
read the questions. Everybody wins if you do that.
Let me tell you, while we're at this is a tense moment in our show, so we can let the theme music build up for a second. 2 points is what you need to claim your prize. So you're on your way.
You just have to hope these 50-50s work in your favor. Question 3. And let me just say, for every additional question you
Huge
get right,
prize.
that's another prize out of the prize bucket.
It's
Question 3. Are you ready, Brett?
Sure.
this Wheel of Fortune music this whole time, so it's
No,
way more
it's
intense.
Who
music.
Wants to Be a Millionaire?
It's just dramatic,
All right, get to it, Jesus.
Question 3. The first people to settle in Eugene was the Willa Gillespie tribe.
False.
It is false. It was the Kalapuya.
Is that a real tribe name?
Cool.
The Kalapuya tribe. All right, you know what? You got 2 out of 5, so you already have 1 prize out of the prize bucket into your hands to take home.
I've got 2 out of 5.
You got 2 out of 5.
No, I think it's like 3 out of 5.
No, you're wrong.
You got the first one wrong.
Question 4.
No, I got the first one right.
Eugene's Saturday Market was the first United States first official Saturday market.
False.
True, actually.
Oh,
In
shit.
1970, it was declared the first Saturday market in America,
Really?
according to Wikipedia.
That's interesting.
This is all according to Wikipedia.
So that's just a heads up for our next guest, Miss Olivia. If you go edit the Eugene, Oregon Wikipedia right now, you will be good to go. I'm kidding. This is gonna air way
Last
after
question.
we record her.
Last question, Brett. If you want an additional prize, you're going to have to get this last question right.
Nice.
What exactly are the prizes?
You're going to find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Cass is going to retrieve the prize bag here after this segment, and we're going to edit this later.
He means
Question
me.
5. There's no appliance like doctor appliance?
True.
False!
Mr. Appliance.
There's no appliance like
Mr.
Mr. Appliance.
Oh, all right.
And now you're going to get a bonus point if you went Hwah at the end of it. So
So that's one prize.
That's
out
one
of the
prize
Eugene Prize Bucket
out-
Wall Challenge.
Wasn't it 2 prizes?
no, it's
No.
one prize.
You only got 2 out of 5.
Oh, all right.
You think we can't track that?
Yeah, you got the first one you got where you said no and it was apparently
Cass,
true.
go get him that prize.
And we're back with the prize purse. What's going on, Dan?
Prize
Oh,
purse.
it sounds. I can smell.
Are
and I
you
can-
shaking the purse up?
I can smell and I can hear the prizes.
So now, question, Dan: are any of the prizes similar to the prizes that were in it last time?
I don't remember. What was it last time?
These really bad chocolates.
No, none
Oh,
of that
good,
is in
okay.
here. All right, you can feel around and decide, but you can't look inside.
I can't look.
You can't look inside, but you can
I
feel
mean,
around.
you have it. You technically can. It'd be cheating, but you.
I wouldn't go
wouldn't
for
get
the
in
sure
trouble.
bet, Brett. I'd go a little deeper.
Is there money in there? What's the sure bet? Oh, this is exciting.
He's looking me dead in the
I'm
eyes
so
as
curious.
he feels
I wanna
around in
know-
my little sack.
I also want to know what's going on in Dan's. Well, I can't call it a bag. That's copywritten. But in Dan's wallet, if you will.
It's
Oh shit! Why do I never play the?
Jesus.
I'm gonna
fucking
play the
Christ,
theme.
Dan.
Dan, in post, I'm gonna add the "What's in Your Wallet"
know what?
theme.
What the fuck is this thing?
oh, give me the bag back. You got your prize.
Well, it's a light up dildo.
He gets.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
He has a UV marker pen, which allows him to write things in invisible ink
Oh,
and shine a UV ray. Write something on your hand right now. It'll come off later. It's non-toxic.
That's way cooler than
That-
these other prizes.
It doesn't sound
looking in the bag.
non-toxic.
No, I don't know if it is, but I just say that it sounds better.
It hurts less if you tell someone it's non-toxic.
All right, now flip that around and press that UV light, and you can see what.
I'm not even done yet.
Yeah, let him finish, Dan.
Dan
Sucks.
is amazing.
Dan sucks. It
Wow,
says Dan sucks.
I can't believe his first time on the show when he wrote a compliment right on his hand.
That would be the first guest to ever compliment Dan. Unfortunately, that did not happen. He just told the truth.
No, I would like to compliment Dan. Actually,
Please don't.
He is
All right.
one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, that's so bad for his ego.
He's an amazing filmmaker. He has great ideas. The one downside to Dan, though,
Here it is.
his complete fucking racism.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Oh.
Boy, you would not believe the. I mean,
Oh my god!
we've been talking
it's
about
like
this since episode
anybody
0.
not white just comes under fire from him
What-
constantly.
And the mask he got in Japan, which is totally messed up.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the time, he
Oh,
sent
yeah.
me a message
Yeah.
that he was supposed to send to someone else that said, "I am not a racist" on Facebook Messenger, which I've taken out of context
That's-
on many episodes.
I can send you the screenshots
It's-
to defend
the
myself.
rampant racism from Dan.
I was
I-
in Japan when I got that mask. Okay?
That doesn't make it okay. Did you custom order the most racist thing on the planet while you were in Japan?
No?
Well, it looks like you did. You know.
You know, I consider that it could have been a mask that was supposed to be a Chinese person that I bought in Japan, because Japan actually is pretty racist towards the other Asian
well,
cultures.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, way to deflect. Way to deflect. it.
Well,
so,
I mean, after-
shame on you, Japan.
change the.
Shame on the you.
Wait, who was the bad guy in the raping of Nanking? Was that
my
Japan or China? Was it China? Was it Japan?
I don't know.
Someone was the bad guy. I think it was Japan.
In the rape of Nanking.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That was Japan.
That was Japan.
Japan was absolutely the fucking bad guy.
Well,
there,
in that
100%.
case, there's no excuse for the racism. If it was the other way around, I would have been defending them, but it was not.
I think that's it. Should we plug anything?
Yeah, let's talk about plugs. Okay, so SoundCloud.com/moments ago. I've been saying studios for so long. That's so confusing. Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
We're gonna change it to SoundCloud.com/moments ago studios. You're allowed to do that.
Is that why we only have 42 followers?
Probably. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
down
probably-
from 45?
SoundCloud. Hold on. Who's trying to save SoundCloud?
Is someone trying to save it? It's the
Yeah.
shittiest. Oh, hold on. Don't go to SoundCloud. We're on Stitcher. Go on Stitcher. Just type the
Yeah.
word Eugene in. We actually show up if you type the word Eugene in.
We just got to get that RSS feed going.
And the app is way better. Let's say you're on Instagram. I'm at Lars in the Studio. Dan is at Dan Koss. Dan Koss. That's KOSS. You do it twice. you're going on Gmail, we're momentsgostudios@gmail.com. You can send us literally anything. We'll read it on air. I mean, send us a dick pic. We will read the zeros and ones
You
on
just
air.
heard that 2-minute long email. We read it.
Yeah, we
did it.
It's like 10 minutes.
And then also you'll find me usually Monday nights, 9 p.m. at Cornucopia on 5th and Pearl for the drink and draw. You got prizes, you got games, you got the drink specials. Ninkasi, $3.50 a pint. Not bad deal.
And if you're thinking, hey, I like Tumblr, which is a weird thought, but you can have it. Peer-reviewed, beerreview.tumblr.com. whatupeugene.tumblr.com. Those are all. We have too many. Damn, we need less links.
Here's the last link. Here's the
You have
last
another
one,
link
okay?
for me?
Guys, Eugene Comic Con, a.k.a. UConn, is happening November 11th and 12th,
We were gonna
Saturday and
talk about
Sunday.
that. We did not talk.
We didn't talk about that, but it's okay because they got good enough representation.
Yeah, good for them. So that brings us to the other people in the room.
Yes.
Do you guys, Cassidy, social media, Brett, social media, do you want to pimp something? We have 10 to 20 listeners, so.
That's generous.
I got nothing. Oh, actually, you know what? I work at the Broadway Metro.
Yeah.
We have some great movies, great prices. Come
Excellent.
down, drop by.
Your
See a
guys' butter on your popcorn is the best butter of any
Oh
theater.
no! Well, that's because we use real organic butter, Dan.
You know, this is, I'm probably like the worst Eugenian in all time. I have not been there since it opened. Every time I'm like, oh, I should go there. I should go there.
You know what?
I
Fuck
went to,
you.
No, I went to, I saw it might get loud at the old Bijou. You know, I did, which I'm under the impression is still around. I have not been to kind of. Maybe I should just go to the Bijou again.
No,
just
go to
be
the
a
Broadway
dick.
Metro. They have great films.
I want to.
They-
I'm so
we
lazy.
Have, we have some. We usually get really good independent films, and then we take second run. Which second run these days used to be like, you know, when a movie left a larger theater. Now it's like a week after it opened at the VRC or Cinemark.
Oh, that's
so.
not bad. Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything opening week. No, the real thing is, the truth is, I just don't see movies in theaters very often. It's nothing that the Metro did to me.
You should. Matinee prices are $6 if you join M Rewards.
It's a
Oh,
good
that's
deal.
okay.
I didn't know about this until
$3.
Brett told me.
Yeah.
$2.
deal.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see some really cheap movies.
Best two
That
movies
way.
I saw at Broadway Metro, by far, Swiss Army Man,
Oh, sure.
and weirdly enough, The Overnight. The Overnight was really fun. Did you not like The Overnight?
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh my god, that was a journey we did not expect, and it was a good
When
time.
is that?
It's all
We've got Blade Runner right now.
2049.
Oh, yeah.
Any
one.
inkling
That's a
to
really
see
good
Blade
one,
Runner?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it actually sounds really good. I'm gonna go ahead and say it actually sounds better in our theater than it does at VRC
Yeah,
or
because we
Cinemark.
saw
Wow,
it at VRC and it was
that's fair.
so loud. It was crazy.
And you're
We sound check every single movie we get. We have the best movie theater popcorn in town.
They do,
We
for
have,
sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'll say this on the record. Sound is a big deal in my life. That's, you heard the porn rant earlier in the episode. People who have not listened to this episode, but other ones have heard me rant about several of the louder bars in town because Sizzle Pie is too loud for, it's like 130 decibels
all right,
in there.
all right.
Sizzle Pie and Barnlight are like the fucking worst bars.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's
like
what-
Sizzle Pie.
That's
too,
what I'm
but they're
saying.
fucking
Oh, he's
For
so
100
vindicated.
years.
He's so vindicated.
I've been trashing the
No, they're
Barn Light for
fucking
so
garbage.
long.
Like,
It's
the Barnlight is overpriced too. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you can go to almost any other bar in Eugene, rack up a $50 tab, and they'll charge you $20.
yeah.
I mean, they're looking for a bigger tip, obviously, but that's fine. But the Barnlight will stick you to everything you eat and drink there, and it's like you have hundreds of customers.
Yeah.
Why are you being Nazis about the tab? Comp one or two of those fucking drinks. You know.
That sounds reasonable, but
Yeah.
they won't, and they don't have Bombay Sapphire, which is why I'm mad at them. But your thing is probably a better reason to be mad at them.
Yes, it is.
So
As per usual.
you gotta trash the Barn Light at least once. No, but like Sizzle
No,
Pie.
no, that's the thing too. Like, it's fucking Portland aesthetic is bullshit. Like,
Well,
it's just shitty. It's
just
just
shitty.
shitty fucking place. Like, it's like if Portlandia was a fucking bar.
Well,
Fuck
and it's,
them.
I mean, it's
Fuck
loud
the
in there.
Barn
It's
Light.
probably like 100 to 120 decibels in there. That's a guess. I really don't know decibals
Yeah.
that well. Sizzle Pie is like 120 plus. Like it is loud enough to damage your hearing
it didn't
permanently in a
used to
day.
be either, but I think I think they want to I think they use that to get customers in because it seems hip and cool for about 5 minutes, and it gets customers out because they don't have much dining
That's
space
true,
if you think
yeah.
about it, and there's a lot of customers.
It
And
is-
I've
it's
noticed
very
since
busy.
they've opened, they've increased that volume tenfold.
Yeah, because like you can't. If you want to go there and eat with anyone else, you can't have a conversation. You're yelling. You're like, I can't yell this
But
loud.
you'll scarf down a slice or two of pizza and then leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
fair.
I think that's what they It's psychological warfare. That's what it is.
I hope someone suicide bombs them. And on that is the end of our episode.
Brett,
So
thank you for
guys
coming.
listening.
Cass, thank you for sitting on the floor and being a side guest. 1.5 guest.
Moments go. Studios go. Studios.